Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. The fishing rods of this era are of course different from those on Earth in ancient times. Such as the one in Zian's hand. 9 meters long and weighing only 7 grams. 289 gram. Hold it in your hand, it's as light as nothing. But let alone the giant thing weighing 2,000 kilograms. Even fish weighing 20,000 kilograms can be caught easily. Of course, the premise is that you have enough strength. War King level powerhouse. Of course there is no problem. Fishing lines, hooks, etc. can easily catch such a heavy fish. But, relatively, the price is also extremely expensive. This fishing rod sells for 7.79 million yuan. Most people simply can't afford it. Zian has a lot of money now. Even though the Dark Matter organization invested most of his money. But I still have more than 100 billion in cash on hand. I don't care about this little money at all. Under the terrifying power of the War Emperor. A giant fish weighing more than 2,300 kilograms was dragged out of the water by Zian. This is a fish with a very strange appearance, called a fish. It's a bit like a fish from Earth called a dragon. Zian has eaten this fish before. The meat is smooth and tender and very delicious. Wow, my god! Seeing the fish being pulled out of the water, all the girls exclaimed. Zian smiled proudly. Thank you for being born again. Let yourself be able to catch such a heavy fish one day. If I remember correctly. In his previous life, the biggest fish he caught was a 5-pound carp. Eating delicious fish meat, blowing the breeze from the lake, listening to the rustling of leaves in my ears, and basking in the scorching sun in the sky. Surrounded by so much beauty, this kind of life is simply better than that of a god. Zian, are we going to continue to take missions on this battlefield? Hu Qiqi's big eyes suddenly flashed, her red lips slightly opened, and she exhaled curiously. The other girls also looked at Zian, wanting to see what Zian's arrangements would be next. Zian thought for a while and said, let's continue for a while. Although the enemy is currently taking precautions against us, there is still a chance of relying on our identities to identify friend or foe. My thought is, we are now all battleships full. You can even try it and break into the enemy's real rear. Just like the 4-segmented insect race I saw in the Earth Federation that time, go directly into the hinterland of the Inhumans or insects and turn everything upside down. After a pause, he shook his head and smiled. Of course, this is just my preliminary idea. Wait until I think of a solid enough retreat plan before executing it. This is indeed a question that Zian has been thinking about. However, I never found a safe enough retreat plan, so I had to put it on hold. Zian and the others are not a death squad. Without a complete retreat plan, if we really entered the enemy's hinterland, we would die without knowing how. At that time, it was really the sky that was not responding and the earth that was not working. In fact, Zian is fine. Because of the magical skill of space jump, no matter how dangerous the place is, it is not dangerous for him. Mainly Qin Fuyue and the others will definitely die. FFLX. Zian even thought that if it was no longer possible, he would act alone. This can ensure 100% safety, and at the same time, it can cause havoc in the hinterland of the Inhumans or insects. What a fun thing. The girls were so frightened by Zian's crazy idea that they almost bit their tongues. I have to say that Zian's idea is really crazy. They are not weak now. In the universe, he is an example of the strong. But the hinterland of the Inhumans and insects. But even the captain of the starship is almost dead, let alone them? Fortunately, Zian is still somewhat sensible. The girls felt a little relieved in their hearts. It's not that I'm afraid. Having gone through so many wars with Zian, it's scary to say. Actually, I'm not too afraid. The key is, going to the enemy's hinterland with their strength is purely an act of seeking death, but it just feels a bit unworthy. Fortunately, I just had an idea and didn't implement it. That's when Meow Xiaomi's optical watch suddenly rang. Everyone didn't pay much attention and continued eating, drinking, and chatting. But less than 3 seconds after Meow Xiaomi answered the call, there was a whoosh sound. The whole person suddenly stood up from his seat. Meow Xiaomi, who had baby fat and a cold face, suddenly changed wildly, and her voice was slightly distorted. What? Are you sure? The loudness of the voice, the panic and anger in the tone, made Zian and others stop talking immediately and all looked at her. As the people on the other side of the communication talked more and more, Meow Xiaomi's beautiful face became increasingly pale. In the end, it became all in vain. Biting her red lips tightly, the red lips were bitten until they lost all color. Her beautiful face was full of rage and fear. The smile on Zian's face gradually faded, and he asked in a deep voice, "What's wrong? What happened?" I have known Meow Xiaomi for 5 years, and this is the first time I have seen her lose her temper like this. Zian knew what happened on writing. And this matter, most likely, happened at Meow Xiaomi's house. Because if it were other things, Meow Xiaomi would not be so gaff-like. Really? Meow Xiaomi's beautiful eyes were full of fear, her expression was a little dazed, and she said numbly, our civet human race, something happened. My mother, was taken away. Ugh. As soon as they heard this, all the girls stood up suddenly, all of them with cold eyebrows and murderous intent. Including Qin Fuyue, everyone looked murderous, although there was a certain amount of fighting between her and Meow Xiaomi because of Zian's incident. But this kind of fighting spirit is purely about love and the jealousy in a woman's heart. Actually, we have been teammates for so long and have been together through life and death countless times. The relationship between the girls is already extremely deep. It's so deep that you can use your own body to block the opponent's bullets without hesitation. Jealousy over the wind returns to jealousy over the wind, but to say that the relationship between them is not good is pure nonsense. Now when they heard that such a big thing happened in ManhwaRecap's family, everyone suddenly became angry. Boiling with murderous intent. Over the years, the women have killed countless people. The murderous aura in his body gradually condensed into substance, which was quite oppressive. Zian was the calmest one, because it was useless to be anxious now, so he immediately asked in a deep voice, "Calm down. There's no point in rushing now. Tell me the truth immediately about the call you just received." However, I don't have to wait for Meow Xiaomi to answer. Zian's optical brain watch also suddenly received communication. Zian was startled. You should know that his optical watch is usually in the "do not disturb" state. Only the people closest to you are on the white list. For example, Master, senior brothers, senior sisters, and the other girls. Look down. As expected. The caller was none other than my second senior sister, Qi Jingyi. This second senior sister is usually mysterious and rarely speaks even in the group of senior fellow apprentices. Normally, the second senior sister had the least contact with him, and basically chatted more with the third senior brother Wu Lu and the fourth senior sister Lu Yuyu. Next is senior brother Zhang Yuanhai, and finally second senior sister Jingyi. At this time, the second senior sister suddenly called me. Why? Zian raised his head and glanced at Miao Little and Lia Shenwu's who, and had a little guess in his mind. Without hesitation, he immediately answered Qi Jingyi's communication phone. Soon, the heroic voice of second senior sister Qi Jingyi came through the communicator. In the communicator, second senior sister Qi Jingyi's heroic voice came. Junior brother, are you busy? Zian replied, I'm not busy right now. Qi Jingyi said, straight to the point, there is something I think it is necessary to tell you. Just 15 minutes ago, your team member Meow Xiaomi's tribe, the Civet human clan, was suddenly attacked by the hyena human clan's Kirin. Before the attack, there was almost nothing unusual about the hyena tribe. We didn't know about it until after the attack. Because they kept the secret so well, and the incident happened so suddenly, neither our Cosmic Human Federation nor the Civet people reacted. The Civet people were attacked without preparation and suffered heavy casualties. Especially the Earth Federation branch of the civet human race, where Meow Little Manhwa is located, suffered an almost devastating blow. Although we have immediately organized a large number of strong people to rush to rescue. But obviously, 15 minutes can't do much. Chi Jingyi's voice was heroic, but very plain. It's like saying something indifferent, the fragmentation of an ethnic group. Even if it is just a branch of an ethnic group, it usually starts with hundreds of thousands of people. The civet people are a branch of the cat people. The civet human race of the Earth Federation, where Meow Xiaomi's relatives live, is a branch of the civet human race. According to Su Zian's knowledge, the branch to which Meow Xiaomi belongs is not big, but there are hundreds of thousands of people. Chi Jingyi can be so calm. Or, he is indifferent by nature. Or, it would be too many 260 lives and deaths. This matter, in her eyes, is just a trivial matter that is not that inconspicuous. Only because this matter was related to Su Zian, I paid special attention to it, and after learning about it, I told Su Zian as soon as possible. Su Zian believes that the second senior sister is the latter. He is definitely not the kind of person who is indifferent by nature. There was silence for a moment. Su Zian asked in a solemn voice, "Why did the hyena tribe suddenly attack? What's the reason? Just because of the feud with the civet people? Also, how dare they? They betrayed the human race?" In other words, it is not the action of the hyena human race that is affiliated with the human race, but the action of the hyena human race that is affiliated with the human race? Hyena people. At first, it was because of the civet human race that they defected to the cosmic human race. This led to internal divisions. To be specific. In fact, the dog people are divided into one branch. One group took refuge in the Inhumans. One branch defected to the insects. There is one more. He surrendered to the human race of the universe. Among them, the hyena tribe that took refuge in the alien race was the most powerful. The hyena race is not a weak race in the universe, on the contrary, it is a relatively powerful one. Otherwise, the civet human race, which was also not too weak, would not have been beaten until it was unable to fight back, and the clan was almost wiped out. It seemed that Su Zian would ask this. Chi Jingyi answered directly, "It's the hyena human race that belongs to us." No. To be more precise, it was an attack led by the hyena tribe that belonged to us, Bede, and led by the hyena tribe that had surrendered to the human tribe. That is to say, the hyena human race actually rebelled against our cosmic human race, or they have never sincerely surrendered. I don't know what method they used, but the super strong man from the hyena tribe of the Inhumans suddenly appeared in our hyena tribe. With lightning speed, we killed the federal troops guarding us. Then he attacked the civet humans as quickly as possible. So far, this is all the information I know. If there is any new situation in the future, I will notify you as soon as possible. Su Zian finished listening. Take a deep breath. Thoughts kept flashing through my mind. He seemed to have caught something and suddenly asked, "Second senior sister. According to what you just said, the hyena race should have almost wiped out the civet race of the Earth Federation." Having said this, Su Zian paused. Because he could clearly feel Meowth's ears pricking up, and when he heard Su Zian's words, his delicate body swayed suddenly. If Qin Fuyue and Hu Qiqi hadn't quickly supported her with quick eyes and hands, she would have collapsed on the ground by now. But Su Zian couldn't care about that now, and continued, "But Meow Xiaomi just learned the news from her tribe, less than a minute before you informed me. Then, I learned from the other party that Meow Meow's mother was captured by the hyena human race." At this point, Su Zian said no more. He believes it. With second senior sister's intelligence, she must be able to understand what he means. Really? Chi Jingyi's breathing suddenly stagnated, and then there was a lot of movement. About half a minute later, Chi Jingyi's voice came again, "The news is confirmed. The hyena tribe did indeed capture Meow Meow's mother. And not only her mother, but also her grandparents, uncles and aunts, and all her relatives were all taken away by the hyena tribe. So, judging from the current situation. A cold light flashed in Zian's eyes, and he continued, so, actually, this plan is aimed at the brilliant fleet, or, is it simply aimed at me? Qi was quiet for a few seconds before saying, there is a possibility. However, it must be only part of the reason. Another part of the reason is that the hyena race has never sincerely submitted to us. Otherwise, if you want to maintain contact with the hyena human race of the inhuman race under our noses, it will not be something that can be accomplished overnight. There must have been a plan in advance. In addition to the suddenness of this attack, many strong men came from the other side, and according to the news, several strong men came from the Inhumans. Judging from this information, it is possible to target you, but at most it is only part of the reason. However, due to this possibility, you must not jump into this muddy water. Since they only captured Miao Xiaomi's mother and relatives, the purpose is very obvious. Just to attract you there. Then, I will catch you all, especially you. Zian said nothing. Qi meaning is obvious. She doesn't recommend going into this muddy water by herself. Because, his intentions are already very obvious. But it's understandable. During this time, I can be said to shine brightly in the universe. He even killed 2 great geniuses from the insect race and 1 peerless genius from the inhuman race. The Inhumans and insects hate themselves so much. It is not unusual to try every possible means to kill oneself. Zian, how could it be possible to watch Miao Xiaomi's relatives being taken away and remain indifferent at the rear? Absolutely impossible. Thinking of this, Zian said without any hesitation, I will definitely go. There's no way I won't do this. Second senior sister, you don't need to persuade me. In addition, aren't they trying to lure me over? Then I'll go. Let's see if they are stronger. I'm still better. Qi took a breath and her voice became a little deeper. I understand your mood. But you have to know that since they are targeting you, then you must be fully prepared. As long as our super strong people pass by, they will definitely notice it. Or, kill Miao Xiaomi's relatives and run away directly. Either, there is a more powerful enemy waiting. In short, everything is possible, and they are not fools. Qi voice was still so heroic. But Zian could clearly hear a deep sense of care from it. He couldn't help but smile and said with a chuckle, don't worry, second senior sister. Zian smiled and said, go, I will definitely lose it. They are indeed not fools, but do you think I look like a fool? So, I'm definitely not going to act recklessly. I won't act rashly without a surefire plan. After hearing what Zian said, Qi could only sigh, although I don't have much communication with Zian. But I also know. My junior brother is the kind of person who makes a decision that even 9 oxen can't pull back. There was no more persuasion. Then Zian's voice came, second senior sister, do me a favor. Qi nodded without hesitation, you tell me. Zian's voice was very calm, I need all the lists of hyena humans you have. Especially the list and information of the group of hyena humans who attacked and kidnapped. You don't need to be too detailed, you just need to know the name, strength, or the number of the starship, etc. That's right, that's all. Including their elderly, women, and children. So combined with your current strength and your huge contribution, we discussed a reward that is most suitable for you. Junior brother, do you want to know what the reward is? Qi asked teasingly. Zian gave a wry smile and glanced at the anxious Miao beside him. Obviously it is not appropriate to discuss rewards at this time. I definitely want to know. Zian said, but now we plan to leave immediately. So, second senior sister Quan, why don't you send my reward to my communication? Qi didn't say much, nodded and said, that's okay, there are indeed many rewards. I will send them to you later. Since you have decided, I won't stop you. Just be careful. If anything happens, please inform me or your senior brother at any time. Zian nodded, I understand, second senior sister. Then, he hung up the communication. As soon as he hung up, Zian waved his hand and said in a deep voice, I'll tell you on the way. Leave now for the Earth Federation. The girls nodded hurriedly, and Miao Xiaomi glanced at Zian moodily. Zian said nothing, and left in a hurry with the girls. I originally thought I would stay here for a while. At least they have to wait until they break through to the advanced battleship level. Then go directly to participate in the peak battle. But unfortunately, the plan could not keep up with the changes. This bunch of slutty hyena humans are looking for death. Then no wonder I am. Immediately, the brilliant fleet took off in a hurry, said goodbye to General Mu, and spoke to Zhang Wushuang, Gu Qingzhan, and the others. When Zhang Wushuang and Gu Qingzhan heard about this, they were all furious and expressed that they wanted to go with Zian. But Zian declined. Because if they follow him now, it will be of no use. By the time they arrived, the hyena tribe had already fled to nowhere. But that's okay. Afterwards, Zian will definitely notify them. For nothing else. Anyway, there is meat to eat. You eat it when you give it to others, and you eat it when you give it to yourself. Naturally, we give priority to our own people. What's more, Zian already has a rough plan in mind. Qi Jingyi did not ask Zian what he wanted these lists for. He agreed to Zian's request without hesitation. At the same time, Qi Jingyi said, there is one more thing. We have already discussed your rewards. Zian was startled. Reward? What reward? Zian really didn't know what kind of reward this was. If I remember correctly, in the past few months, every time a mission ends, the rewards are immediately settled. Qi Jingyi laughed and said, you are really. If it were anyone else, they would have been watching eagerly. You actually don't care at all. You don't even know if you don't tell me? Of course it's you and your brilliant fleet who got the reward for killing those 3 unparalleled geniuses. No matter who it is, as long as they kill the most outstanding genius of the insects or inhumans, they will receive extremely generous rewards. You don't think that this reward has reached you, but it's gone instead, do you? Zian suddenly realized. What is the reward for co-authorship? He really didn't pay much attention. There was indeed concern at the beginning. Later, after killing Babalusru and returning to the training camp, there was no news about the reward. Coupled with the urgent training in the training camp, Zian gradually forgot about this matter. If Qi Jingyi didn't mention it today, Zian would have really forgotten about it. It turns out that there are no rewards for co-authorship, but the rewards still need to be discussed. It seemed that he had guessed Zian's doubts. Qi Jingyi explained, the reason why we need to discuss it, it's because anyone who can kill a peerless genius is either a super strong person or a peerless genius. Rarely do surprises arise. Whether it is a super strong person or a peerless genius, they are all the pillars of our human race. Therefore, the rewards given to them by the cosmic human race will be given the most appropriate rewards after the most detailed discussion. Your reward should have been received long ago. But who would have known that you had just come out of the training camp and killed another Nanjia right after? After that, another Lin Zhaotai was killed. The people at the top are simply too busy. We can only continue the discussion. No, in the past few months, the results have finally come to fruition. You haven't killed any more unparalleled geniuses. To realize this plan, the brilliant fleet alone is obviously not enough. More people are needed. Tate. Only then can this disgusting race of hyena humans be completely exterminated. At least the hyena race within the Space Human Federation must be exterminated. Whether it's an old man, a woman, or a child. On the way to the Earth Federation. Not long after setting off, second senior sister Qi Jingyi sent a message. Zian clicks to view. Slowly, the eyes began to widen. About Zian and the rewards for members of the brilliant fleet, Zian, 100 million military merit points, diamond medal, 2,000 nanostar clusters, several 6th grade heavenly materials and earthly treasures, members of the Brilliant Fleet, military merit worth 10 million each, platinum medal, 200 nanostar clusters, several 5th grade natural materials and earthly treasures. The reward is very simple and crude. In fact, Zian can understand it. Asking for flowers. Because most of the time, the rewards are very diverse. For example, a certain starship captain killed a certain genius. A large amount of money will be awarded, and then an evolution master will be rewarded to build an evolutionary starship specifically for you. At the same time, you will also be rewarded with enough evolution points. But what about Zian? The executives of the Universal Federation of Humanity who are responsible for this matter also have a headache. Because they had totaled it, Zian didn't seem to be missing much. They already know how rich Zian is. Today Daystar and Big Dipper are still selling well. Evolution? He himself is a genius-level evolutionist. Evolution value? Don't say it. According to their statistics, if this thing evolves normally, Zian's evolution value is currently too much to use up. Treasures from heaven, materials and earth, etc. Therefore, in the final calculation, it seems that the only things that can be rewarded to Zian are evolution values that are much more valuable than silver, diamond metals that can open higher-level warehouses, and heavenly materials and earthly treasures that can improve cultivation and temper the body. Nanoclusters. In fact, it is the same as money. As for the full 2000 nanostar clusters, Zian can exchange them for money, which is 200 billion cosmic coins, or use them directly as money. It can also be taken out at any time and used as fuel for the Starship space jump engine. Needless to say, it has a military merit value of 100 million. Let's put it that way. Massive. To know. The ratio of military merit value to wealth value is 1:10. That is to say, this 100 million military merit is worth enough to make your wealth worth more than 1 billion. Rich. This reward. It's so generous. It was so rich that Zian himself felt a little unreal. Kill the peerless genius. The reward is so high. Perhaps? Maybe. Can we? As he thought about it, Zian's eyes became brighter and brighter. He seemed to have seen a way to make a fortune. And this is the way to make a fortune. It seems that only he can do it. Then there are the women. The rewards for the girls are also quite generous. Don't say anything else. A total of 10 million military merits is enough to evolve the Star Destroyer without having to worry about spare parts and natural resources for evolution. Only bonus content is out. However, various reviews are required before the rewards are issued. It will be released after review. But Zian is not in a hurry. It only takes a few days. Look no further. Driving the Brilliance and taking the girls with him. As fast as possible. The spoon flew rapidly in the direction of the Earth Federation. Battlefield C-72743 is very close to the Earth Federation. Because there is a wormhole stargate here that leads directly to the Earth Federation. Especially when all battleships are deployed, they can arrive in just 7 days. People are still jumping in the wormhole stargate. Sudden. In his sight, familiar fonts appeared out of thin air. And this is their 3rd day on the road. Wealth value exceeded 1 billion detected. New system function is activated. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ability to locate wormholes. Positioning wormhole, you can consume a certain amount of wealth to open a wormhole that can reach any target location. Note 1, the fee for this ability is determined based on the size. Note 2, wormhole opening has a certain degree of exposure, please use it with caution. Note 3, this ability requires detailed cosmic coordinate positioning of the target before it can be used. Note 4, wormholes do not always exist, and the duration of their existence will be determined based on the wealth consumed. Zian's eyes widened. After his wealth exceeded 1 billion, he gained abilities that Zian had never imagined. This level of awesomeness is beyond Zian's understanding. What is this? Directly 737 to open a wormhole. to know. Although it is common in the universe now to open artificial wormholes. But countless human, material, and financial resources need to be invested. But what about the system? It only requires a certain amount of wealth. Zian looked at it carefully. According to the system introduction, the length of the distance does not consume additional wealth. The amount of wealth consumed is determined by the volume and duration of the wormhole. For example, a wormhole a kilometer in diameter. To open it up, you need wealth worth 1 million. Duration 1 million a day. That is to say, a total of 2 million wealth points are needed. Every additional day requires 1 million wealth points. The brilliant fleet does not need a 1,000-meter diameter wormhole. The maximum width of a battleship is 609.9 meters. Therefore, a wormhole space of 700 meters in diameter is just enough, although the maximum length is more than 2,000 meters and nearly 3,000 meters. But your starship doesn't always fly sideways, right? Calculated, the initial cost of opening a 700-meter diameter space wormhole would be 1.4 million. The approximate wormhole diameter, duration, and wealth value are all 100 to 10 respectively. But the duration certainly cannot be just 1 day. Wormhole jumps, long distances, and for several days are normal. Honestly, this fee is not low. But it was within Zian's tolerance. Just need to get over it, just turn it back on when you get back. Although it costs an additional 1 million wealth points, it is still much more cost-effective than letting it continue to exist. Unless you come back on the same day. After reading this new function of the system, Zian was silent. Because this function is so powerful and practical. It really exceeded his imagination. Even as long as your wealth is worth enough. And if you are not afraid of having your abilities exposed. It is absolutely possible to notify the superpowers of the Human Federation of the universe. Then a huge wormhole was opened, suddenly appearing in the core hinterland of the Inhumans or the insects. Launch a surprise attack when the enemy is unprepared. No one can stand it. Although it is definitely impossible to be wiped out by the human race so easily, that is pure nonsense. But it will definitely frighten the enemy. But these are certainly impossible to consider at the moment. The human heart is too complicated. In addition to the girls of the brilliant fleet, there are also their own masters, senior brothers, and sisters. It's actually hard for Zian to trust other people. Although he would not take the initiative to confess this ability to the Universal Human Federation until he was strong enough. However, if you use it yourself, there will definitely be no problem. He can use this ability to do so many things. The importance and power of this ability made Zian feel the pleasure of using cheats in a real sense. After studying the abilities, I didn't pay too much attention to it anymore. We will talk about these things later. Let's settle the matter in front of us first. This hyena human race must die. Traitor. Great, don't die well. After 7 consecutive days of non-stop driving, we finally returned to the Earth Federation. Just came out of the wormhole Stargate. Zian then received news that it was a hyena human race and had already fled long before the strong human race people rushed over to support them. This is true for the hyena tribe in all regions. Zian was not surprised by this news. It would be strange not to run. Just run away. What Zian is not afraid of the most is the enemy who is running away. Zian can find them no matter where they go. Extreme pursuit is not just for show. At the same time, Qi Jingyi's list was also compiled and sent to Su Lian's optical brain watch a few days ago. However, Zian was not in a hurry to locate and kill. First, we need to understand the specific situation. In this case, the consequence of recklessness is death. What's more, that gang of hyena humans had kidnapped Miao Xiaomi's relatives and used them as bait to lure them. Then you will definitely not do anything to them easily. At least they won't die. This is enough. Until their goal is achieved, the safety of Meow Xiaomi's relatives is no problem. In this case, let's go to the site to investigate and understand the specific situation first. Meow Xiaomi was already impatient. Just came out of the wormhole Stargate. Then he pulled Su Zian and everyone quickly towards the star system where her family is located. Meow Xiaomi's family is not in the home headquarters of the civet human race. The Earth Federation is just a small branch. Located in the Fog City, star system of the Earth Federation's Blue Universe galaxy. This is the home base of the Meow Meow family, of course. The place where Cat Star Stone is abundant is definitely not here. The Cat Star Stone that Meow Xiaomi lost to Su Zian is an heirloom in her family. But she had redeemed it from Su Zian a long time ago. And the ransom is also very simple. I gave Su Zian a full body massage. We have just set off on our way to the Lanyu galaxy. Fourth senior sister Lu Yuyu's message came directly. As soon as the connection was connected, Lu Yuyu's clear and crisp voice came over. Junior brother, you should be here, right? I learned about your itinerary from second senior sister. I guess you should have come out of the wormhole Stargate at this time? Lu Yuyu knew the timing so accurately. Obviously, he has been paying attention to Su Zian's information. Su Zian nodded calmly and said, yes, I just came out. Now prepare to go to the Wudu star system. Fourth senior sister, are you over there too? Lu Yuyu said angrily, of course. This is within our Earth Federation. Such a bad thing happened, how could I not be there? If I hadn't been waiting for you, I would have gone after you. Su Zian exposed her mercilessly. Are you not waiting for me, but you can't find any trace of those hyena humans? Exposed by Su Zian. Lu Yuyu said indifferently, so what? Okay, I won't talk nonsense to you anymore. Junior brother, when you were hunting down the Luyun God cult last time, which intelligence organization did you contact? I asked you to say it before, but you never said it. Can you tell me now? This matter is urgent and important. Those hyena tribesmen have obviously been planning this many years ago. After beating the civet humans to a pulp this time, they immediately retreated. We actually didn't find any trace of the other party at all. Our intelligence department has only discovered traces of a small group of hyena humans and is currently hunting down the minister. But none of the core personnel and those powerful people can be seen. So, now I urgently need information. I don't want the coordinate information of 0.1 hyena human race in other places. I only want the information of the hyena human race that attacked the civet human race branch of our Earth Federation. I'm going to kill them all. When Lu Yuyu spoke to the end, her tone was filled with murderous intent. Obviously, he was very angry at the behavior of the hyena human race this time. But it's normal when you think about it. After all, the Earth Federation also needs to bear certain responsibilities for this kind of thing. Su Zian certainly had no reason to refuse Lu Yuyu's request. There is no reason to refuse. Let's not talk about making money first. What happened this time? This is definitely the best time to enhance the reputation of your own organization. Since this incident, Su Zian believes it. The name of the Dark Matter Intelligence Group, not to mention FAR, spread throughout the entire Jiuxiao Xinghai. Su Zian believes that there is no problem. But the only thing that causes a headache. It's just that the number of people is too large, and I don't have that much time to locate myself. So the best way? Just accept the positions of those who are strong. Thus, things will be much easier to handle. It would be a sin to miss such a good publicity opportunity. Su Zian immediately replied, it is an intelligence organization called Dark Matter Intelligence Organization. 11. I will send you the website address of this organization later. After a pause, Su Zian added, this organization may not be famous. But the intelligence ability, I believe you experienced it last time, it is absolutely one of the best. But with such a strong intelligence capability, the price will naturally not be cheap. So senior sister, you have to be mentally prepared for heavy bleeding. Lu Yuyu said very domineeringly, money is not an issue. As long as we have the most accurate intelligence and can kill those damn hyena humans, no matter how much money we spend, it will be worth it. But I have indeed never heard of this intelligence organization. Dark Matter Intelligence Organization? Dark Matter. Haha, the founder of this intelligence organization is really ambitious. Zian smiled secretly in his heart and said calmly, then I will send you the website address now. You go and take a look? Lu Yu nodded and said, okay, then send it to me now, and I'll go see what's going on. Hang up communication. Zian sent the URL directly. This is the website of the Dark Matter Intelligence Organization. The website construction method used is the same as that of all killer organizations and intelligence organizations that are not so visible. They are all the most secretive websites and software. Jiang Yaoyao said that the creation of this website and software alone cost more than 7 billion universe coins. However, the confidentiality level is extremely high, and there is basically no possibility of being deciphered or tracked. Zian is quite relieved about this. And he, as the founder of this organization, naturally, it has the highest authority. Jiang Yaoyao only has first-level authority. Zian, on the other hand, has special authority. Special permissions. Can do anything. ARA. Pricing. The pricing of information is determined by Zian. But so far, no order has been completed. The reason is simple. Not everyone knows about dark matter organizations. But the price is really too expensive. The other side. Lu Yu, who received the URL sent by Zian, clicked on it immediately. She browsed with curiosity. The URL of this dark matter organization seems to be very different from the URLs of other intelligence organizations. Other intelligence organization websites mainly sell various types of intelligence. There is also information on location coordinates, but it is very rare. Because I want to pinpoint someone's precise location. It's actually very difficult. After all, the universe is so big. Only Zian, a cheater, can do it. Therefore, the main content of the website of the Dark Matter Organization is actually targeted intelligence sales. On the contrary, other types of intelligence, currently, are responses, such as business intelligence and so on. Almost none. Lu Yu then opened the Target Positioning option. Click in, there are many options. But, interestingly, it seems that the lowest targets that can be located are deep spaceship captains. As for the price, Lu Yu suddenly stared. It's like I can't believe my eyes. This price. Are you sure you are not kidding me about the universe? Look what the hell this is. Deep Spaceship Captain Positioning Price List, : Junior Deep Spaceship Captain, 20 billion universe coins, Intermediate Deep Spaceship Captain, 40 billion universe coins, Advanced Deep Spaceship Captain, 60 billion space coins. Note, the positioning is accurate to a range of 1 meter. If it is not achieved, the cost will be refunded 10,000 times. Lu Yu's mouth opened wide. His face was full of disbelief. The position of a deep spaceship captain. 20 billion cosmic coins? The captain of the advanced deep spaceship has reached 60 billion? Not 60 million, but 60 billion? Although when I got the information from Zian before, I already knew that the price would not be cheap. But I never expected it. It's so expensive. This is just the captain of the deep spaceship, and the Star Destroyer captain. Star Destroyer captain, the junior one is 100 billion, the advanced one is 200 billion. Captain of the immortal ship, the basic one is 300 billion, and the advanced one is 500 billion. Void ship captain, the basic one is 600 billion, the advanced one is 1000 billion. Starship captain. Starting from 1.5 trillion. This is crazy. This price, just really. Lu Yu fell silent. She suddenly remembered the heroic spirit when she spoke to Zian before. I couldn't help but feel dumbfounded. Exa. The Earth Federation is not short of money. But I can't help but do it like this. But think about it carefully. In fact, this price is not unacceptable. A Star Destroyer captain wants to grow up and cause more than 100 billion threats and damage to humanity? A Star Destroyer level Terran trader. If you escape to a certain star system, you will be in hysterics. What about a sudden killing spree? Star Destroyers are definitely powerful enough to easily destroy a star system. That's a star system. How many people does a star system have? And how much is a star system, including its various constructions, etc. worth? Not to mention the immortal ship, void ship, and vertical star ship. So think of it this way. This price is really not expensive. After all, Dark Matter Organization promises positioning accuracy to 1 meter. If there is an error in positioning, you will be refunded 10,000 times. This obviously requires a lot of confidence to boast like this. At first, Lu Yuyu will definitely not try those expensive ones. She has to give it a try. Let's see if this Dark Matter Intelligence Organization is really as awesome as it advertises, and if it can remain as awesome as it was when it tracked the Luyun God cult. So, I spent 20 billion cosmic coins to buy the lowest option available. The precise positioning of the junior deep space ship captain. Then, just finished the purchase. Above, more information was immediately displayed for her to fill in. For example, the other party's identity information, or starship code, etc. Soon, Lu Yuyu randomly selected a junior deep space ship captain's information from a deep space ship captain of the hyena tribe and filled it in. After that, the above shows, please wait. The other end. The super administrator background of Su Zian's optical brain watch immediately received this message. Su Zian smiled slightly. He had already guessed Lu Yuyu's choice. After all, the price is indeed not cheap. Never really collaborated either. No one wants to be cheated, right? Don't delay either. According to the information given by Lu Yuyu, Su Zian used the extreme tracking ability almost the next second. The detailed coordinate information of the other party is displayed on the network harness. When he saw the other party's coordinate system, Su Zian suddenly raised his eyebrows and gradually frowned. Just because the result shown by the other party is that the other party's location is 257, which is within the scope of the Earth Federation. At all, there is no escape from the territory of the Earth Federation. Su Zian frowned. This situation. There are only 2 possibilities. Either it was true that the other party ran fast and hid in a certain void area. The deep space zone is the real deep space zone. For example, between large galaxies, because they are very far apart and the space in between is extremely huge, it is called the deep space zone, also called the deep space of death. Just because here, the big ones are even larger than the area of large galaxies. If you want to hide someone, it couldn't be easier. It is a favorite place for countless criminals. Except this possibility. There is only one last possibility left. A flash of light flashed in Su Zian's eyes. This might be, other side. Perform starship camouflage. As well as identity friend or foe identification disguise. Apart from these 2 possibilities, there is basically no third possibility. Why is it said that there is basically no third possibility? Because this third possibility is almost impossible to occur. Especially, all the top leaders of the Earth Federation rebelled. In this way, only then can he be hidden within the Earth Federation and cannot be found, nor can the superpowers supporting him from outside. But obviously this is simply impossible. 1 or 2 rebels, no problem. But to say they all rebelled? Give me a break. So, the best possible. It's the first 2. As for which one it is, Su Zian is still unclear. We can only wait and see the results after Lu Yuyu's pursuit. Think no more. Immediately, the precise positioning coordinates of the other party were sent over. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. When Lu Yuyu saw this coordinate positioning, she was undoubtedly stunned. My heart was full of doubts. With her knowledge of the Earth Federation. At a glance, this cosmic star map coordinate indicates that it belongs to an area where human activities are very frequent. This guy is here? Lu Yuyu became more and more suspicious. But suspicion is suspicion. The money has already been released. Someone must be sent to investigate. Immediately, an order was issued. Then the captain of the nearest star destroyer immediately rushed over with the Federation army. Because the distance is very close, it only takes half a day to get here easily. Not long after, the star destroyer captain reported to Lu Yuyu. But the result was unexpected. Report, we are here. However, there is indeed a deep space ship resting here, but it is not the hyena human race at all. The star destroyer captain reported. Lu Yuyu's eyebrows suddenly frowned. Are you sure you have carefully checked that person? The star destroyer captain echoed back, I'm sure. The other party is just passing through here and will leave soon. This time, this really made Lu Yuyu question her heart. XX. That dark matter organization is really a liar? But if he is a liar, even if he deceives 20 billion, what will it do? Will also be hunted. This idea just came up, and Lu Yuyu immediately shook her head and dismissed it. Wrong. Wrong. First, the captain of the deep space ship only has a lot of contact with Zian and her current level. Therefore, there is a feeling that there are so many deep spaceship captains that they are nothing. In reality? In fact, deep spaceship captains are extremely rare, at least within the Earth Federation. Some ordinary people will never even see a battleship captain, let alone a deep spaceship captain. It just so happened that such a deep spaceship captain appeared in that star system. Second, the hyena tribe is so well hidden. Even if they have been planning it, there is no way they can hide it so well. Not only is he a strong and super strong person from the hyena human race. Even the low-level biological captains of the hyena human race, and even ordinary people, all disappeared completely. This is something very bizarre and outrageous. Third, Zian got the intelligence information from Lu Yun Divine Sect last time. All that information is accurate. The fourth and most important point is, this was introduced by Zian. She believes it. In fact, this last reason is enough. Think of this. In her mind, she probably thought of a possibility. Although this possibility is very small, it does not mean that it is impossible. Immediately ordered, give me the order. Immediately, arrest this person. If you don't resist, it's easy to say, just say it's a routine inspection. If you resist, you can be captured alive, but if you can't be captured alive, behead them first and then kill them. Lu Yuyu holds the position of Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Earth Federation. It's definitely not just because of his strength and the fact that his grandfather is the Federation Chief of the Earth Federation. What's more important is that not only is she powerful, but she also has the air of a general. So, in the interstellar age of the universe, a person's appearance is the least trustworthy. From the outside, Lu Yuyu is just an innocent girl of 18 or 19 years old. In fact, he is over 4,000 years old. He is also the captain of a Tier 10 star destroyer. You can break through to the immortal ship at any time. Yes. Lu Yuyu is now the captain of the 10th level star destroyer. Before meeting Zian, the most she can achieve is a 9th level star destroyer level breakthrough. After meeting Zian, it would be absolutely impossible for Lu Yuyu to remain untouched by Zian's extraordinary talent. So, she was supposed to be the captain of the immortal ship. Now he has evolved into a 10th level star destroyer captain. Not only that, she also plans to break through with the ultimate length, width and height. She, as the 4th senior sister. It's embarrassing to fall behind my junior brother, it's so embarrassing. The other side. The Star Destroyer captain received Lu Yuyu's order and carried it out without hesitation. However, this time, perhaps he saw the determination of the Star Destroyer captain. Or maybe he thought his identity was exposed. Of course, this deep spaceship captain cannot sit still and wait for death. Suddenly, he started running away like crazy. Seeing this situation, even a fool can guess that there is something wrong with the deep spaceship captain, and there is a big problem. Hold. There is indeed a problem. Still want to run? Everyone, please give me a straight answer. The Star Destroyer captain was furious. Some even became angry from embarrassment. So close. Really close. This deep spaceship was about to escape from under his nose. Here. He's there. Around. And they were all federal troops. And there are many deep spaceships here. This deep spaceship naturally has no possibility of escaping. Here, Lu Yuyu's expression suddenly changed when she heard the movement there. It took about a few minutes. There were continuous explosions over there. Another minute or two passed. The Star Destroyer captain's excited and solemn voice sounded from the communicator. Report. We have successfully blocked each other just now. But, this man committed suicide. Lu Yuyu didn't care at all, but immediately asked, if you commit suicide, commit suicide. I just want to know, has the identity of the other party been confirmed? No matter whether the other party is really a hyena human or not. Escape, plus a suicide. Just these 2 points. It is enough to show that the other party must have something in his heart. If not, why run? And commit suicide? Crazy? The Star Destroyer captain took a deep breath and said in an extremely solemn tone, confirmed. The opponent's starship has been camouflaged in appearance, and the starship's identification of friend or foe is also camouflaged. After the disguise was cracked, it has been confirmed. It's the hyena human target we are chasing. And the other party also used a certain disguise, pretending to be a non-hyena human, but it's the hyena human race and it didn't run away. Hear what the other party said. Lu Yuyu didn't speak for a long time. First, it is the terrifying intelligence capabilities of this dark matter intelligence organization that are shocking. What kind of intelligence capability is this? It only takes a few minutes to purchase information. The precise location of this person was sent over. This information. Could it be that it is overwhelming and covers all areas? Secondly, just focus on your own guess, and it turned out to be correct. Hyena tribe. It really has this kind of identity identification and camouflage technology. But it is definitely not the hyena human race that has mastered this technology. In the entire human race in the universe, only 5 people have mastered this technology. There is absolutely no chance for a small hyena human race. FFLX. The result is simple. It must be the evolutionist from the Inhumans who took action. And it must have been planned for a very, very long time. The high-level reinforcements of the hyena human race must all have this kind of camouflage method. Otherwise, it would be impossible to not catch anyone until now. It's just... Good king, good. The only thing that puzzled Lu Yuyu was, it is understandable that the high-level powerhouses of the hyena race have the evolution masters of the inhuman race take action to identify friends and foes and disguise themselves. But what about those low-level biological captains? How do they do it? Is it possible that all the biological captains of the hyena race have acquired this technology? No. Next, possible. The number of evolutionary masters of the inhuman race is not greater than that of the human race. It is impossible to spend too much of their limited energy and time on the low-level creature captain of the hyena human race. To be honest, the hyena human race does have certain utilization value. But the utilization value is definitely not that great. The hyena human race is not worthy. FFLX. So what is the specific reason? Lu Yuyu was puzzled. But this is not the time to consider this for the time being. Now that the intelligence capabilities of this dark matter intelligence organization have been determined to be incredible and authentic, next row, just spend money. Then go to the hyena Terrans. Send them their doomsday. Let them know. Betrayed the human race of the universe. What will be the end, after the battleship? The speed of traveling is much faster. Not to mention pulse transitions and space jumps. Just a faster-than-light flight. It has already reached a flight speed of 55 times the speed of light. We just came out of the wormhole Stargate, only a day and a half ago. Then they came to the Lanyu Galaxy and the Wudu star system. The Wudu star system is where the family branch of the civet human race is located. But with a population of only a few 100,000, it is definitely impossible to house so many people. This star system is actually similar to a normal star system. There will also be a large number of other ethnic groups of humans living on it. But today, the originally bustling Fog City star system has long lost any of its former prosperity caused by the site. There are only broken stars and countless starship remnants wandering in space. Even the stars in the foggy star system were blown up by the superpowers of the hyena human race. If Lu Yu hadn't said that this is the Wudu star system, Zian even wondered if this was a large meteorite belt. There is not even a planet left. Regardless of stars, planets, or satellites, they were all blown up. As for the corpse, except for those who escaped and those who were captured, leftover, it has long since become part of the universe. Not even the scum is gone. On site, it was a miserable situation. Zian's eyelids jumped. The murderous intention towards the hyena human race is extremely strong. Then he turned around with concern and looked through the cockpit glass at Meow Meow on the 320 Meow Meow. Zian was very worried about Meow Xiaomi's condition. At this time, Meow Xiaomi remained expressionless, did not speak, and did not make a sound. Just watching all this without any disturbance. Nothing was said. But Zian knew. At this time, Song Meow Xiaomi was filled with anger. But Zian didn't say anything to comfort her. Not even the girls opened their mouths to comfort her. All language now is pale and feeble. The only way is to completely exterminate the entire hyena race. Only in this way can the inner rage of Meow Xiaomi be eliminated. At this time, the Fog City star system had already been surrounded by a large number of federal troops. There is even a void ship dispatched from other places to guard here. In addition, there are many immortals and star destroyers on standby, because there is no trace of the hyena human race at all. They can only stay here. Lu Yu was among them. Seeing the dazzling fleet, Lu Yu immediately flew over in her super powerful ship. Is it the Brilliant Fleet? What a brilliant fleet! That's the Brilliance. The starship of Zian, the brilliant prodigy. They're really here. I heard that the hyena tribe listed the civet tribe here as the main target of attack this time, just to retaliate against Zian and the Brilliant Fleet. Yes, I also heard that there is a member of the Brilliant Fleet who is from the civet human race. The federal troops stationed here, as well as the civilian captains who rushed over to support, immediately started talking. Did your eyes stay on the Brilliant Fleet, especially the Brilliant Ship? His eyes were full of curiosity. For this proud fleet of the Earth Federation, they can be described as thunderous. Now when they suddenly saw the arrival of the Brilliant Fleet, most people were excited. But obviously this occasion is not suitable for conversation. I can only watch from a distance and don't dare to get close. You guys got here really fast. Before Lu Yu arrived, the voice came over first. Actually, you don't need to come over at all. Since the intelligence capabilities of the dark matter organization you introduced are so powerful, you can completely buy the position of the hyena human race that kidnapped Meow Meow's relatives. The federal army will go directly to solve it. There is no need for you to take risks yourself. Zian shook his head and said, they are not fools either, and I suspect that there must be a super strong person waiting for me. So I'm afraid you were discovered by them before you even got close. Then the result must be to kill Xiaomi's relatives first. We don't dare to take the risk. As for danger, to be honest, there is danger everywhere. Besides, fourth senior sister, have you forgotten that I still have a guardian? Zian said with a smile. Lu Yuyu thought about it and realized it was the same. With Zian's current talent and potential, at least he will be assigned a position as a starship captain, right? In the genius training plan. In fact, the guardians of the geniuses are also kept secret. Generally speaking, no one knows the specific strength of the guardians of the geniuses. Generally speaking, every genius, including the peerless genius, has only one guardian. Only Zian, a genius with unparalleled talents, has been assigned 3 vertical starship captains and 1 void ship captain. Tell the truth. This configuration. It's really a bit too outrageous. Lu Yuyu didn't know this either. It is even less clear about Zian's specific guardian configuration. But these are not important. Since Zian knew what she was thinking, she had nothing to say. Immediately, Lu Yuyu began to talk to Su Liaoan about the situation here in detail. Zian's main purpose here is to obtain this specific information on the spot, then proceed to the next stage of action. First, this is the action of the hyena human race. The hyena human race is a more powerful group than the civet human race. Over the years, it seems that both groups have developed equally fast. But that's without counting the inhumans, the hyenas, and the insects, the hyenas. This time, they suddenly attacked the civet people from all directions and robbed the cat star stone of the civet people and left. They also destroyed all the civets and humans, precisely because of the help of the aliens and hyenas. This time, the hyena race dispatched a total of 3 starship captains, 17 void ship captains. There are more than 150 immortal and star destroyer captains combined. This amount is definitely not small. However, because they are blooming everywhere, this is only the total number of hyena human activities calculated. In fact, it was the hyena race that was actually attacked by the Earth Federation against the civet race. The strongest combat power is just 2 star destroyers. But apparently that's enough. At least the civet human race's branch in the Earth Federation is absolutely crushing. And Miao Xiaomi's relatives were captured by them. Zian's main target is this group of hyena humans. Soon, Zian went through the list and found the detailed list of this group of hyena humans. At this time, Lu Yuyu's voice continued to sound, but the only thing that makes me and us very confused is, why did all the low-level starship captains of the hyena tribe suddenly disappear? That's the most puzzling part. Even with the help of evolution masters from the inhuman and insect races, it is impossible to achieve this. Is it possible that they have mastered some high technology that can disguise their collective identity? Lu Yuyu herself is an evolutionist and a 6th grade evolutionist. I deeply understand how difficult it is to complete the disguise of identity for a group of people to identify friend and foe. The key is to hide it for so long, that is the most difficult thing. Zian lowered his head and pondered for a while. In fact, he didn't have the slightest clue. He could only say, I'm too lazy to think about it so much. Anyway, no matter what method they used, they jumped to where? 21, we will definitely find them all and kill them all. Listen to Zian say this. Lu Yuyu nodded and didn't bother to think more. That's right. It's no use thinking so much. Then what are you going to do next? I will obey your command throughout this operation, including going to the rescue. Zian smiled, his smile a little cold, and focused all his attention on the star map in front of him, while saying, next, of course I'll go first. However, he hasn't finished speaking yet. Suddenly, a frightened voice suddenly sounded from Zian's communicator, be careful. Run. She is not your 4th senior sister. But the other party's voice hasn't even finished yet. The main gun of the starship in front of Lu Yuyu suddenly lit up with an extremely dazzling light. An extremely shining light. Aiming straight at Zian in the cockpit of the Brilliance, it fired at extremely high speed. Its huge energy. The surrounding space seemed to be torn apart. Zian, the women's horrified exclamations resounded throughout the cab, all the time. Zian, both focus on the evolution of the starship itself. Think that the current interstellar era of the universe. Starship. It is the highest technological crystallization of civilization. However, today, reality taught him a hard lesson. Starships are indeed the highest technological crystallization of civilization. But this does not mean other technologies are not awesome enough. On the contrary, the technological products on non-star ships are equally powerful and full of all kinds of incredible functions. In front of you, in fact, when Lu Yuyu's super powerful number suddenly fluctuated, Zian was already alert. It's just that my brain can't turn around. I'm still confused as to why Lu Yuyu suddenly recharged the main gun. And when the main gun of the Lu Yuyu starship suddenly burst out with super powerful energy shells, hitting him. Everything around. It was like a mirror that suddenly fell into pieces. The surrounding airspace has completely changed. There are no more ruins. There were no large numbers of Union troops. There are still starships. Caused by the sight. But it's not a federal army at all. 2. A large number of hyena human starships. All the scenes I saw before. All are high-tech simulations that display virtual world projections. At this moment, due to the stimulation of the main gun energy, the virtual world projection was instantly fragmented and turned into pieces of data. The real world is revealed. Look in front of you again. Where is Lu Yuyu's super powerful Star Destroyer? Astonishingly, it is an immortal ship with a hull length of more than 9,000 meters, a ferocious and ugly appearance. Except for this immortal ship, there are also oversized instruments suspended everywhere. Rays of light came out from it. Obviously, it is these instruments that have just created these virtual images. And besides these instruments, leftover. That's a lot of hyena human starships. Look around. The lowest ones are all star destroyers. There are more than 30 ships in total. Immortal ships, 8 ships. Void ship, 3 hulls. Far away, there are also 2 longitudinal starships with a hull length of 60,000 to 70,000 meters, floating there quietly like an unscalable mountain, and judging from the appearance of its starship, these 2 vertical starships should undoubtedly come from the inhuman race. But the creepy thing is, these starships, while the immortal ship in front of me fired cannonballs at Zian, immediately afterwards, they fired their cannonballs towards the brilliant ship and the brilliant fleet. It can even be seen that warheads with a diameter of more than 100 meters are shooting towards them at an unimaginable speed. This moment, an idea suddenly emerged in Zian's heart. In other words, there was a glimmer of enlightenment. This time the hyena tribe rebelled. Final goal. I'm afraid it's just to kill myself. Such a big move. Such a far-reaching, step-by-step plan. Zian suddenly felt a chill in his heart. Yes. The hyena tribe has long been rebellious. If not yourself. I'm afraid it won't be implemented so early. Now it is suddenly implemented. Everything. The ultimate goal is yourself. Slow to say. Actually, all in all, it all happens in a flash of thought. Zian's eyes were about to burst, and his pupils were instantly congested with blood. Yes. He did have enough time to escape. With just a thought, you can instantly jump to another brilliant ship. I will never die. But I can't die myself. Of all the girls, it is impossible for anyone to survive. This is unacceptable to Zian. What can I do? What can you do now? He clearly knew the strength of the brilliant fleet. It is indeed strong enough. But it is definitely not strong enough to be able to survive the attack of so many star destroyers at least. I can't last even one round. At this critical moment, Zian even had a ridiculous idea in his mind. It would be nice if the new ability that was upgraded with $1 billion worth of wealth was not a wormhole. It's a collective space jump, so in this situation, there's nothing to worry about. Wait. Zian suddenly opened his eyes, and a crazy idea suddenly appeared in his mind. No time to think too much. Seeing that the enemy's attack was about to arrive, Zian's eyes turned red and he did not hesitate to use the newly acquired system ability. Locate the wormhole, and positioning coordinates. I chose one at random. It doesn't matter where the end is connected, now. Zian only thinks about how to survive. Survive with the girls. Just say what if. If this method doesn't work either. Zian can run by himself. Knowing that he would die if he stayed, Zian would definitely run away by himself. Because only you live. Only then can we have a chance to avenge the girls. It's too late, it's fast. There wasn't actually even a second of time before and after. Suddenly, a small black dot suddenly appeared in front of my eyes. Then it expanded rapidly at an unparalleled speed. Just a moment, it turned into a wormhole with a diameter of 2,000 meters. Run! Without saying a word, Zian controlled Xinghong and rushed in first. And all the women. Already desperate. I originally thought that I was certain to die. But I never thought of it. A wormhole will suddenly appear in front of him. There was no time to think too much about why this wormhole appeared. Under instinctive reaction, he followed the brilliance into the wormhole as quickly as possible. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared. And at the moment when the brilliant fleet disappeared, the main gun shells of the immortal ship, pretending to be Lu Yuyu, arrived instantly. Please give me flowers. One shot hit the middle hole. Suddenly, the wormhole trembled violently. Then, the next second, countless attacks. All attacks were on this wormhole. It didn't even take the attack of the 2 vertical starships to arrive. This wormhole could no longer withstand the huge power of various weapons and was instantly shattered. Everything turned into a vacuum hole. From the wormhole, it becomes an entrance to the turbulent flow of space. It also means, this wormhole. No more. Even more so. The brilliant fleet that just rushed into it. The moment the wormhole was exploded, Xia was lost in the turbulence of space. Either shattered by the turbulent flow of space. Either eternally lost. Being able to enter the space turbulence and still come back alive from it. The probability is so small that it is almost zero. The existence of the universe to this day is due to race. Those who stray into space turbulence can still come back alive, for all races combined. 0, no more than 3 people. And these 3 people, all of them are super beings that surpass a vertical starship. That is to say, brilliant fleet. From this moment on, completely disappeared from this world. Everyone, including this bunch of hyena humans. Also included are the 2 inhuman race starships. This also includes Zian's guardians at the back. They were all completely shocked by this sudden scene. Attack from hyenas on humans. Until this moment, the whole process took less than 2 seconds. Everything. All within 2 seconds. It was just too fast. The hyena human race did not react. The Inhumans didn't react. The Guardian didn't react either. Huge conspiracy. The sudden appearance of a wormhole. Everything is so weird. But there is one thing. At least the hyenas and Inhumans achieved their goals. Brilliant fleet. Gone. Completely gone. The captains of the 2 inhuman vertical starships all had smiles on their faces. No matter why this wormhole suddenly appeared, let's leave this aside for now. After all, the universe is so big and full of wonders. No matter which race, no one can be sure that they have figured out this universe. So the sudden appearance of a wormhole doesn't seem to be a big deal. Even more bizarre cosmic phenomena have occurred. It's just a natural wormhole that suddenly appeared. But their smiles. It didn't last long. The next second, everyone's expressions changed wildly, and they glanced in a certain direction in horror. Caused by the sight, it was a scene of 4 huge starships that were so furious that they seemed to have lost their minds, flying towards them crazily. A void ship. 3 ships. Longitudinal starship. Very far away. But that furious rage. Exploding murderous intent. But it came to my face. Just like the essence is wide, the rage filled the bodies of Muzichio and others. They never expected it. The Inhumans would actually spend such a huge price to kill a Zian and a brilliant fleet. They know that device. It is one of the most high-tech products of the Inhumans. Directly create a virtual reality projection technology similar to Inception. Then through a series of technologies, communication and simulated display are disguised. In fact, this technology is not difficult. The difficulty lies in the difficulty. Able to cover the entire range of a star system. No, it should be covering several star systems. What a huge project this must be. And, most importantly, how can it be detected instantly without being caught by the vertical starship and the following starships? The technical content required is too high. The price he needs to pay is too generous. Just like Muzichio and others. It also confused them for a certain period of time. Otherwise, we would have discovered it long ago. As for the price paid, let's just say 2, 6, 7. These devices can no longer be measured in terms of money. It has to be measured. The visual deception technology, which covers several star systems, is definitely no less than 1 trillion universe coins. Yes. Z. The point is, if you have this kind of money, you can't get these equipment. These devices are extremely sophisticated. It also needs to be transported from the Inhumans. In the middle, it passed the testing of the human race and so on. So, the price cannot be measured by money at all. Not to mention, what they paid for was the rebellion of the hyena human race that had been dormant for so long. Even the Inhumans came with 2 super powerful starships. As soon as this happened, the hyena human race will definitely suffer crazy revenge from the human race. As for the captains of these 2 vertical starships, one of them can't handle it. It is very possible that he will die here completely. In addition, there is a large amount of intelligence to ensure that Su Liuan and the others' route of action is known. These costs are really too high. But just to kill Su Zian and the brilliant fleet. This shows how much the Inhumans hate Su Zian. It also shows how afraid the Inhumans are of Su Zian. Hiss, 3 longitudinal starships? 1 void ship? The captains of the 2 inhuman vertical starships gasped. Then, without any hesitation, no communication is required at all. They turned around and ran away. Joke. There are 3 vertical starships and 1 void ship. Why don't you run away? Are you waiting to be killed here? They did think that Su Zian's protector would be very strong, and they also thought that Su Zian's protector would be the captain of the vertical starship. So this time a total of 2 starship captains came. But I never thought about it. Not only is it strong, but it is also awesome. What else is going on? Say nothing more. How fast, run so fast. As for those strong men of the hyena race, they don't care about his life or death. If possible, I will naturally save him. But now that they can't protect themselves, who cares about the life and death of these hyena humans? Anyway, they are the bastards of the Inhumans. To die is to die. It doesn't matter at all. Needless to say, when they saw Muzicho and others in a rage. The expressions of these strong men from the hyena human race all changed suddenly. Then the faces gradually turned pale, without a trace of blood. The next second, dispersed in a hurry. "Go after you, and don't let anyone go," a middle-aged woman's gloomy voice sounded. Muzicho, as well as the captain of another longitudinal starship, pounced on these hyena humans without hesitation. The boiling murderous intent in his eyes is as real as ever. They know. No matter how angry. There is no way to save Zian. Anyone with a little common sense knows it very well. Falling into space turbulence. Want to live or want to come back alive? #AE. It's impossible, and besides them, several more immortal ships emerged. They are all protectors of women. Everyone was equally furious. Although they are all women. But the condensed murderous intent seemed to freeze the whole world. Kill. Angry roar. The other side. It is not very far away from here in the real foggy star system. After all, he wanted to really confuse Zian and the others. It must not be too far away from the Wudu star system. The distance is too far, the coordinates deviate too far. Let's not talk about whether Zian can fit in or not. Even if there is a slight deviation, the brilliant fleet may directly jump over through space. Therefore, this distance must not be too far. In the foggy star system. Lu Yuyu looked at the time and frowned slightly. Calculate according to time. By this time, Zian and the others should have arrived? Without thinking much, he raised his optical watch and dialed the communication number for Su Lian. B. The communication target no longer exists. When these fonts appeared, Lu Yuyu frowned even more. In today's cosmic interstellar era, dark matter networks exist in every corner of the universe. This reminder appears. There are only two possibilities. Either, the other party is in a pulse transition or space jump, or in a wormhole. Either. Just in the turbulence of space. Space turbulence is impossible, so should Zian still be in the space jump? Lu Yuyu shook her head and was about to wait and see. But suddenly, a strong wave came from a certain direction. Lu Yuyu felt it carefully and her expression suddenly changed. Such violent fluctuations. Void ship? No, even a void ship cannot have such huge fluctuations. This is the kind of fluctuation that can only be caused by a vertical starship, and there's more than one place. There are several places. How is this possible? Lu Yuyu was shocked. She rarely saw one of the starships. Now, several ships suddenly appeared. The most important thing is that Lu Yuyu discovered that the direction of the fluctuation was actually the direction from which Zian came. Do not know why. Lu Yuyu suddenly had a very bad feeling in her heart. Without saying a word, he immediately shouted, "Everyone gather." Immediately, Lu Yuyu immediately reported the situation here. She was just a Star Destroyer captain. Even if she was more powerful than an average Star Destroyer captain, she would never be powerful enough to compete head-to-head with a Star Destroyer. Only report the situation. Let the superiors send more powerful men to support you. At the same time, Lu Yuyu immediately set off with his people and rushed over there. The hesitation and anxiety in my heart became more and more intense. She always had a very bad feeling. I always feel. This fluctuation of the starship is related to Zian. Thinking of this, her speed became a little faster. Still halfway there. A message from Qijingyi was sent to her communicator. Just one glance. Lu Yuyu's face instantly turned pale and without any trace of blood. The starship moving at great speed trembled suddenly and gradually stopped. Just suspended in place. Information. It was sent by Qijingyi. Obviously. At this time. Qijingyi, there is no time to send messages to her alone. The content of the message is very simple and clear. 0.8. Qijingi, 6 minutes ago, Zian's guardian reported that Zian was ambushed by the hyena race and 2 inhuman spacecraft on his way to the Fog City star system. Qijingi, the other party, deployed a realistic virtual vision deception technology with an area of more than 5 star systems to deceive Zian. Qijingi, the other party's personnel, disguised themselves as Lu Yuyu and approached Zian. The moment they approached, they launched an attack on Zian. Qijingi, even though Zian's guardian reminded him in time the distance was too far, Zian and the brilliant fleet were all covered by the enemy's attack, including the 2 vertical starships. Qijingi, it just so happened that at this time a natural wormhole with a diameter of 3,000 meters suddenly appeared, possibly due to excessive energy fluctuations. Zian led the brilliant fleet to escape from the wormhole. Qijingi, but the enemy's attack was too powerful, causing the wormhole to shatter instantly. Qijingi, Zian and the brilliant fleet rose to the throne of space turbulence 6 minutes ago. Qijingi, the wormhole disappears. Qijingi, Zian and the brilliant fleet. Qijingi, I don't know whether I will live or die. Cracks like lightning appeared in sight. The energy contained in it can be seen from the data detected by the starship. Small ones are equivalent to the attacks of deep space ships and deep space ships. Tag. It can even easily reach the full blow of the vertical starship. As for the larger one, it is not online. Just be hit by this lightning crack. Then what awaits you is the nothingness in the hit area. The so-called space turbulence is equivalent to thick thunderstorm clouds. These lightning-like space cracks are equivalent to lightning in thunderstorm clouds. The difference is that if you are hit by a thunderstorm, you may still have a chance to survive. But if you are hit by a space rift, unless your starship's defense is extremely strong, you will definitely be missing a piece. The missing piece did not turn into metal fragments. Instead, it was completely dissolved into the most primitive molecules, atoms, and other substances by the space cracks. Look around again. A void of space. There are no meteorites. There is no planet. Nothing at all. There is only nothingness. Because as long as matter exists, most of them have long since disappeared under the cleaning of space cracks for countless years. However, according to the information Zian learned, there is not really nothing in the turbulent flow of space. There is something too. And it can exist in the turbulence of space for countless years, and has not been washed away by space cracks. All of them are real treasures of heaven and earth. And the kind that is super high quality. Yes. In the turbulence of space. According to the oral accounts of the strong men who escaped from it. Here, there are a large number of top-notch natural materials and earthly treasures. There are also many treasures of heaven and earth that are extremely scarce in the entire universe. Obtaining one piece can make an ordinary person become a millionaire. Of course, the premise is that you can survive. And you still have to come out of this turbulent space alive. Obviously, no one thinks that they can come out of this alive. Space turbulence, if you have to explain the existence of such a place, you can understand it as the opposite of the universe. If the universe can be divided into positive and negative, then the universe where life exists is the positive universe. Space turbulence is the anti-universe. In the positive universe, the dimensional space is stable and there are countless lives. Changes in the positive universe are the best reproduction of life. The anti-universe, dimensional space is violent and gathers all the unstable factors of the positive universe here, providing a stable operating environment for the positive universe. Here, life is almost non-existent. Yes, almost, because some of the top-notch Tiankai Dibao plants can survive here. Is this space turbulence? Qin Fuyue's stunned voice sounded from everyone's communicators. Everyone, including Zian, answered her with silence. Think back to the previous scene. Everyone has a feeling of being left behind. I thought I was going to die. However, the sudden appearance of the wormhole gave them a glimmer of hope for survival. However, good times don't last long. Less than a second after entering the wormhole collapsed and they entered the space turbulence uncontrollably. Fortunately, their luck was not too bad. They did not encounter medium or large space cracks when they came in, but only small space cracks. But even so, their starships were also riddled with holes. But that's not the point. The point is, although they survived, it was no different than dead. Here. But the space is in turbulence. In the entire universe, there are only 3 super beings aboard starships who have ever escaped from the space turbulence. They didn't think it was possible for them to get out. From hell to heaven. And from heaven to hell. All the girls were silent. Because they know it very well. Entered here. What exactly does it mean? Even if they are not destroyed by the space crack. And still survive. So the most likely outcome. Also after many years, because of lack of food, he starved to death. In the brilliant number, Zian is constantly trying various methods. Compared to the despair of the women, he wasn't too desperate. There is a system. The wealth value is still so sufficient now. He wasn't really worried. RB. Soon, he gradually frowned. Because he discovered many capabilities of the system cannot be used. Locate the wormhole. In the turbulence of space, it is impossible to open a wormhole. Because this is an anti-universe, full of instability and danger, it cannot carry a wormhole at all. As long as it appears, countless cracks will inevitably appear in the next second and be torn apart by space cracks. It's a good thing they didn't go in. If you go in, what awaits them must be death. Locating wormholes doesn't work. Neither does space jumping. Whether it's a starship space jump or a system space jump. In the anti-universe, it cannot be used at all. To put it simply, that is, many rules in the positive universe do not apply at all in the anti-universe. That is to say, Zian, I can't use the system capabilities to escape from here. In addition to these 2 abilities, the rest of the abilities are fine. All are available. He didn't know what he thought of, but Zian's heart moved. Extreme tracking capabilities are used. Tracking target. Lu Yu. Suddenly, a coordinate plus the direction of a red dot appears at the distance between Su's eyes. The coordinates are definitely useless. Because they have no idea what coordinate position they are currently in the anti-universe, the starship's positioning function has long since failed. Can only be viewed via a red dot in the line of sight. It can be seen from the red dot. Lu Yu was extremely far away from where they were. It seemed to be moving crazily. Zian sighed. Really? After accidentally entering the space turbulence, the location where it appears is random. And if you want to get out of the turbulence of space, there is only one possibility. Find the link between the positive and negative universes. Then use brute force to penetrate it and create a channel. Then you can leave. It's easy to say. But for ordinary people, it is almost impossible. Because of the barrier connecting the positive and negative universes, you can't find them at all. The universe is multidimensional and three-dimensional. This means that this link barrier may exist in any location. And the universe is active. That is to say, link barriers do not necessarily exist in a certain area. Every moment, it is moving with the movement of the universe. This makes it more difficult to find link barriers. This in itself is already an almost impossible thing to do. Not to mention, once you find the link barrier, you still need to break it through with brute force. 18. Without the strength of the Star Destroyer, it would be impossible. Zian took a deep breath. To him, it's not hard to find the barriers. Because he has systematic extreme tracking ability. Just locate someone in the positive universe. Then rush over. In the area closest to the 2 sides. That side is the area that connects the positive and negative universes. The difficulty lies in the difficulty, how to break through the link barriers between both parties. The Brilliance's attack power is indeed powerful. However, Zian doesn't think so. The attack power of the Brilliance, powerful enough to be equivalent to a full blow from a Star Destroyer. And the Star Destroyer's full blow could only break a small hole. I want to tear open a channel that is big enough for the dazzling fleet to pass through. It must at least reach the combat effectiveness of an immortal ship. That is to say, 640 if nothing unexpected happens. He, Zian, and the girls. Brilliant fleet. In this space turbulence. Lost. Fortunately he didn't die. Alive. It's no different than dead. Zian couldn't help but have a wry smile on his face, since the system appeared. He has never had a moment of uncertainty like today. But he has no regrets. It was absolutely impossible for him to watch the girls die. At least for now. They are not dead yet. He didn't die either. Then there is still a chance. At least, I am much more confident than other biological captains who are lost in the turbulence of space. Link barriers are not a problem. With the existence of the extreme tracking function, Zian can accurately find the link between the positive and negative universes. As for the danger here, it's not a problem. The emergence of space cracks is an energy sign. Just avoid it in advance. As for small space cracks, the problem is not that big. Even if the starship is damaged, it can also be supplemented with evolutionary values. The dazzling fleet currently lacks the most evolution value. Massive evolution value. There is also a question of food. In fact, it's not a big problem. Because the existence of plant cultivation room. This problem can still be solved. No food to eat. It doesn't matter. The cultivated treasures of nature and earth can be eaten as food. And the most important thing is what makes Zian become excited from confusion. He suddenly realized. In this counter-universe, bioenergetic energy. It is actually 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, or even 10,000 times that of the positive universe. What does this mean? This means their cultivation speed. It will also increase 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, or even 10,000 times. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.